I think it's gotten to a point where it is so good, I don't think we realize how good it is. Your 7-2 Washington Commanders. Pop.
Sweet it is.
I don't want to wake up, man. I tell you what, if this is a dream, I don't want to wake up, man. Oh, man, this is just, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. And we swept the New York Giants. And I know I've been doing a lot of back patting, but I predicted that coming into the season. I didn't predict 7-2, but I did predict a New York Giants sweep. So there you go. So 30 seconds into the pod. Haven't even announced the score of today's game yet, but I've already pat myself on the back. Let's correct that. Commanders at MetLife. Decisive win over the Giants. It was like pseudo close at the end, but it wasn't. 27-22. Great win by the Commanders. At no point did you ever doubt it.
I doubted a little
Boys
bit.
did it.
But I'm a worrier. I doubted a little bit. I'm a worrier. I didn't want to give them the ball back, and thankfully we didn't, because my goodness. Their offense was a knife through butter, especially in that last drive there. But we'll get into it. Now it's happy feeling. I feel it's like a very, I don't know if I'd use the word decisive, but solid. We were in control for sure. But man, Mr. Jones. I mean, every time I watch him play against us, I'm thinking they ought to extend him. They ought to extend him.
Yeah, he had an okay second half, but they went into the half with -8 pass yards.
Yeah.
And he had that fumble that was bad. Like, it wasn't...
Should have had a pick.
I mean, 20 for 26 with 162 total yards. You're going to win a lot of football games if you keep the opposing quarterback playing like that. Is the bottom.
Yeah, but
162 in the air. I think he had like 50 on the ground. Which
he counted for 3 touchdowns. It's
3 total touchdowns.
Day.
Yeah.
Not a bad day from Daniel Jones. But we don't want to talk about Daniel Jones. We want to talk about Jaden Daniels.
Damn straight.
Yeah. Just such a what we're witnessing there, and we were chatting a little bit pre-production about this, right? But that's just we're witnessing elite level quarterback play. And it's kind of crazy because we're almost starting to take it for granted, which is absolutely nuts considering where we've come from the last 30 years.
Yeah.
But it's just, he's going to convert. He's going to keep the ball moving. He's going to convert third downs. He's going to do it with his legs. He's going to do it with his arm.
His accuracy is stupid. And you know what? I want to take a second here. I had a comment on YouTube. I'm going to look back and find this comment. I commented on YouTube back in...
You keeping receipts?
During the training camp days. I commented on one of the Commanders training camp videos, and I said, his accuracy and his release almost reminds me of Tua, and the way he can just put that ball on a dime and puts it right where the receiver needs to have it almost every time. And somebody, I think it was a fan of the Eagles or the Cowboys or something, somebody commented and said, not at all true. He sucks. And you know what? You're right. It wasn't at all true. He's better than Tua. You're right. So hold that, whoever you are. I got to go back and find it.
Look, maybe it's better for the midweek pod, but there's going to be people that are fans of other teams. I mean, who was the receiver that was on with B. Mitch and Finney? He was trying to make a case that, it was too early or whatever. I mean, who cares?
I don't think so. I think it's right on time.
He's having 9 games in, which is a heck of a sample size. I know he didn't play most of one of those games. Call it 8 games, whatever. He's having an historic rookie year. No one's ever played as well as he has as a rookie.
A historic rookie year that would surely only be more historic should he have played against the Carolina Panthers, considering what Marcus Mariota did to them.
Of course.
So I think that's the only chink in the MVP armor. so to speak, right now is that he missed the one game and Mariota came in and looked pretty good in his place. I think he's a legitimate MVP candidate through 9 weeks. I think he has Rookie of the Year locked up. If you got that at plus 1,000 when we were screaming to go bet it, good for you. Like, it's done. He's sensational. There's no, I don't think, I think it's gotten to a point where it is so good. I don't think we realize how good it is. I mean, that the way he's driving the ball down the field on that throw to Noah Brown today over the middle, he had Eckler wide open in the flat. He's like backing up as he's throwing the ball. He has Eckler wide open in the flat, and he elects instead to layer this ball over one guy, under the other guy, hit Noah Brown on the high point for like a 25-yard crosser. It had to have been a second or third read. And just absolutely, like, that is the elite level NFL stuff. Sure, he could have checked it down to Eckler, and Eckler probably would have got 15. And, maybe if that pass falls incomplete, that's what you're saying. But that aggressiveness and that ability to drive the ball down the field and put that ball just on a rope. I mean, that pass to Terry was just that second touchdown pass.
Yeah. I think, there's so much we can get into. I think it's, we should, get back to the recap part, but I think
doing a recap.
Also, like, his coming out of it healthy. He looked healthy today. Like, you didn't see any signs of
he's fine.
The ribs, or he took a couple shots. He took that one shot that I know you were a little upset about, a hard shot to the ribs, and that's really big too. He just back to normal, like he's just cruising. Yeah. And they even asked him after the game. He said, "Yeah, feel good." So that's really big. But yeah, I mean, we could probably spend an hour talking about Jaden. It's just like you said. It's kind of like you take it for granted, and you really shouldn't, because it's just fantastic. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But this team is more than just Jaden Daniels. We had a lot of other guys step up today. Terry McLaurin had 2 catches for 19 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 key touchdowns. You can see them working on making these red zone corrections and finding McLaurin as a result of that. And I tweeted, I just said players greater than plays. And you heard Joe Witt on the defensive side of the ball talk about that. That clip kind of went a little bit viral this week. But you saw it with Jaden to Terry. It's just like, put Terry in the slot, get him in single coverage, fire that ball at his feet at a place that only Terry can make a play on it, and he catches it. He literally, Jaden Daniels basically took the snap and threw the ball all in one motion, and it's a touchdown, and it's easy, and it's free, and that's what it should be when you have Terry and Daniels out there. When you have 2 players of that caliber that play positions that complement one another, that's how it should go. Simple. And that touchdown pass to Terry was a phenomenal catch. It was an even better throw.
It's also the sequence leading up to that, right? It's 3rd and 18.
De'Ami Brown with a 20-yard screen.
You could easily, see that drive fizzle out.
Yep.
And they convert on 3rd and 18, and then 11 seconds on the clock. And, that's you could say it's obvious that ball needs to go into the end zone.
Sure.
But again, he's just playing like a vet. Jaden's just playing like a vet, always doing the right things. And I don't know. They asked him in the presser if he could possibly throw a better ball. And he said, yeah, I could have let him a little bit. But that ball hit Terry between the 1 and the 7, right here. Like, it's great that he always wants to get better. That's about as good a football I've ever seen thrown. And like you said, look, we had to get in the end zone. Either Terry, he gave the credit to Terry, which you got to love about the kid too. But
yeah,
and it isn't an easy catch. I wouldn't necessarily call that an easy catch, but I feel like Jaden made that about as easy as it possibly could be.
Yeah.
It was what an incredible pass. And to go up 21-7 at the half. It was an interesting first half, just to, cycle back just a little bit, right? I mean, it was a slow start, and then the Giants are moving the ball and looking like they might, go up with the lead, and we get the fumble, which was huge. That could have been a return for a touchdown. We were unfortunate, I think, with the early whistle there, but that was big. So
that's not how the refs are told to play those type of plays.
The refs weren't terrible today.
Nah,
but I tell you one thing they sucked at, and it went both ways, spotting the ball.
Yeah.
Awful at spotting the ball.
Awful.
Like, it was like ridiculous. And again, it kind of went both ways. There was one huge one against us that, should have been a turnover on downs. Giants fans are going to remember the pass interference call, but I mean, it's look, from a reaction point of view, it's just great to be 7-2. It's incredible to be 7-2. We're 9 games in. I keep doing this, but you got 8 to go, and you've already racked up 7 wins. We would have said at the beginning of this year, and that's all out the window. We've got brand new expectations, but 7-10, we probably would have said, it's not too bad. First year, and they're already racked up 7 wins. 8 to go. I keep doing it. 500 football gets you to 11. The ceiling's probably much higher than that. But I will say, the Eagles are right there. And so it's good that we keep making hay. This was a big, big win. And, the Giants, I'll give it back to you in a second, son, but the Giants have played everybody tough. Look, they're not a very good football team. That's not breaking news to say that. But that team, I'm impressed by how hard they always play. They always fight. Yeah. And it's not just the games I've seen them play against us. There's other games that I've seen them play. I can't say that they've the best coach team in the world when it comes to decision making. They've obviously made some questionable personnel decisions, but they do play hard. I don't know how long that'll continue. They've got to probably start getting pretty discouraged. But sweeping those guys, I mean, we got swept by the division last year, right? So they definitely swept us. So it's big. And you start out 2-0 in the division. We got 4 big games to go. But big win. Got to be feeling good about it. And that was a very good. I mean, look, anybody who complains about this game, I guess it's a good thing because we're raising expectations.
Sure.
But that was a really, really good win. Really good.
Yeah, I refuse to complain about going on the road against a division team that has had our number one way or the other. I know it's a completely new regime, and I think that was really demonstrated today by the resolve and by the fact that it did turn into a grittier game than we planned on, but we still got there. But going on the road and beating a division team in their home turf off of the crazy emotional win that we had last week. Great point there by Pop in the production chat here. Got to give him credit here. Right. I can't roll away with this one. But coming off of that point, coming off of that win is just such a quality win. You will take covering the spread on the road against a division team any day. And the spread was Commanders -3.5. We won by 5. Now, Brian Daboll certainly made that a little bit easier on us with those 2-point conversion calls, but the math will tell you they're about 50-50, and we stopped them on both. So
those are big stops.
2 big stops and 2 stops that it looked like, the Giants just looked it looked like Joe Witt Jr. had their play call before the play happened. Like both plays were just totally busted. So that was great. You would have liked to see them do that on the 3rd and goal instead. But, that ended up being the difference between it being a 5-point game and a 3-point game at the end. And if New York scores with, being a 3-point game and they're kicking it deep, now the drive that we had to seal the game changed everything, but that definitely changes the dynamic. And I got a point I want to make about that drive to seal the game before we go into the awards here.
Yep.
That throw to Zacchaeus, where Zacchaeus is wide open, right? And Zacchaeus catches the ball, runs it another 20 yards after the catch down the field, gets tackled at like the 40, and essentially that's ball game at that point, right? Because we're in field goal range. We really just need like maybe one more first down, and then we can just bleed the clock even. The second, this is wild to say because it's 2nd and 8. Jaden Daniels is running backwards as he's throwing the football. And the second that ball left his hands and I saw how far down the field it was going, I knew it was a catch. I couldn't see where the ball was going. You can't see the back end of the coverage on the TV.
Right.
But the second that ball was thrown and I saw the type of throw it was, in that moment, you just know he's coming down with it, and that's ball game. Like, I had this feeling of like elation that, oh, if Jaden made the decision to throw that ball there, it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. And sure enough, you hear Sanchez, who was rooting against us the whole game with his man bun, groaning about, oh, he's wide open. Sorry, Sanchez, must have bet the contract that he had being a 4th-string quarterback with us here on the Giants money line today. But you heard him complain about the fact that Zacchaeus was wide open. Too bad for you, Sanchez. But between the officiating crew and the commentators, you got the feeling that the NFL didn't think this was going to be the 7-2 Commanders running into the 2-6 Giants. They thought it might have been the 2-6 Commanders running into the 2-6 Giants based off of what we got today. But damn, it feels good to get a win on the road against a division opponent that's had our number. It was funny. I'm watching with my girlfriend, and I'm a little bit fired up to start the game and calling some people some things I probably shouldn't be calling them. And Morgan's like, "Why do you care so much about this? The Giants suck." And she's very new to watching football, rooting for the team. And I said to her, "Oh, they're our division rivals." She goes, "But you guys probably beat them, right? Like, they're bad." And I'm like, No, they always get us. They always get us, and I hate them. And sure enough, it feels good, man. It feels good. So Pop's got a couple quick points he wants to break down before we hit the awards. And then
I think we touched on it earlier, but as disappointing, and it's going to be part of the award, so I'll defer this part, but as disappointing it was on that last touchdown drive by the Giants, which I'm going to defer on that because I got a little bit of I got one rant. It's on that one. To come back and seal that game, with a 9-play, 67-yard drive that ends with a kneel down. Like, I was a little bit confused. I didn't have the clock situation worked out, and I saw them congratulating each other on the sidelines, and I'm thinking, no, we got to punch this in still. It ain't over yet. And then they start taking a knee from the 1-yard line after burning the clock. That was incredible. That drive alone was good enough to call this a great performance by the Commanders. To do that, and Jaden Daniels and Chris Rodriguez and the offensive line, quite frankly. It was a super clean game. No turnovers, no sacks, right? Super clean game by the offense. Defense, got one, tried to keep it, but zero sacks. We're of like mind.
Yeah,
you're
no
shooting
sacks
me notes there.
Versus Brian Burns,
leading
who was
sack
the
team
number
in
one
the league,
the number one edge rusher on the market last year, and Dexter Lawrence, who is redefining what it means to play defensive tackle right now.
Yeah, that offensive line balled, and the way we were able to run the football in crunch time, and you think about it, they kind of dominated time of possession. If there's any defense that was gassed, which might have influenced, things at the end of the game, it was ours. We also were down a couple of players from injuries. But anyway, I mean, seeing we touched on it, right? Coming off an emotional loss, this is just such a well-coached football team. And you could tell the players, it's not only coached by the coaches, it's coached by Bobby Wagner, Jaden Daniels, Austin Eckler, Zach Ertz, the leadership of the guys to be able to just come and just put out what I would just call a professional performance.
Yep.
A top-level team professional performance today is super impressive.
Yeah. It's going to feel real good when we steal Malik Neighbors from the Giants when he hits free agency, too. That's going to be sweet. Just messing around there. But how about, let's get into the awards here. I got a fourth award that we did not put on the outline that I'm going to make sure I announce here. It's not going to be the Sauce Award today, but let's get into it. The Sauce Awards gotta be Jaden Daniels. There's no two
Jaden
ways around
Daniels
it. Kid
Award.
was incredible today, as always. Just so good and so poised. And you see, the one play that stuck out to me, which was actually on the 3 and out to start the second half, which, by the way, that's not the first time we've had a 3 and out coming out of halftime. Let's get that sorted out, Cliff. All right, let's just see what's going on there. But this is a positive segment. He is halfway to throwing the ball, and at the last second, he changes his wrist and throws it into the dirt because he saw that somebody was he reacted in less than half a second because he saw the pass was about to get batted up in the air if he threw that. I mean, that's like the Steph Curry coming off the pick and roll, going behind the back, and he already knows Klay Thompson is there. That's stupid. And the accuracy on the ball, driving the ball down the field, just knowing when to make the right play, knowing when to make the checkdowns, that's impressed me a lot today as well. I mean, just the numbers don't jump off the page because of just how efficient he was. But still 68% completion, 15 for 22, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Here's a number that jumps off the page. 128.8 passer rating today. He is just...
It was elite level quarterback.
As good as it gets. Yeah.
It was an elite level quarterback because the big throws, you talked about the one, to Zacchaeus and to Brown and to Terry.
Yeah.
The big throws in those moments are just outstanding. They're just outstanding.
Truly. And he is just the ultimate point guard with it all.
And he converted a 4th down with his legs.
Yeah.
He's put up 35 yards on the ground on 8 carries. I mean, he's always dangerous that way too. Sometimes I would tell you, one thing that I wish he would do is turn the jets on a little bit. Because at times, that one play, he was sort of cruising out of bounds, and the guy pulled him back, and you could tell that guy, there's no way that guy could catch him. It was a big linebacker type dude. I forget who it was. Sometimes I just wish he'd put the afterburners on and not let those guys even get close to him. But he did a great job protecting himself today for the most part, too. So good slides and all of that. So, but I mean, look, it's a Sauce Award for a reason because we like making sauce on Sundays.
Yeah.
Commanders clearly like making sauce on Sundays. Jade, you're invited anytime. I'll fly Dominic in. We'll make you a big batch of sauce.
We'll fly you pasta.
In. You're invited anytime. Well, yeah, he's from your neck of the woods. I'll go out
there. You
LA,
go, yeah.
Wherever you want to meet up after the season. Because it's pretty clear he's going to be the season sauce award at this point. Right?
The franchise sauce award.
That's it.
It's just unbelievable. He is doing what, veteran quarterbacks. I won't say the name because people will go nuts, but there's one veteran quarterback that we've talked about on this podcast that shook the whole league up when he started. And we said what took him to the next level was the fact that he just started playing point guard these last year or so. He's just putting the ball always where it needs to be. Jaden's doing that in 9 weeks. Every week, 7-8 different guys catch a ball. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Look, I said, getting the backpacking machine out. I said this going into the season as Dominic takes a Carlo break.
Just had to turn the ceiling fan down. I'm feeling a little under the weather today, and that's
there you go. I thought it might be a Carlo break.
No.
He's one of one. Look, it's too early to know for sure how the story is going to play out. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay on the path. He's got to keep working. He's got to stay humble. There's no signs that he won't continue to do this. But what he brings, and I'm not even saying him being one-on-one means he's the GOAT or anything like that. But what he brings is such a unique skill set and such a unique combination that I'm not sure is comparable.
Yeah.
And you can say the same thing about Pat Mahomes. You can say the same thing about Lamar. They're unique players with a unique skill set that is incredibly difficult to stop. And that's the kind of player Jaden is. not ranking him or any of that stuff. And could we give him any more love? I think we could, but we should sprinkle it around a little bit to some of the other guys now.
Yeah, so helmet stickers. Pop, if it's okay with you, I'm going to go a little off script here so I don't forget it. I want to give a helmet sticker to Brandon Coleman today. First start as an NFL left tackle, played the entire game, was doing the rotations with Cornelius Lucas, starter today. I don't even know if he gave up a pressure versus Brian Burns, which is just incredible. For a 0-sack performance and for your left tackle, maybe he wasn't the best of the 5 linemen, but for your rookie left tackle that you drafted either late second or early third round, I believe, just incredible. I mean, just really great performance by him.
Adam Peters don't miss.
Adam Peters don't miss, man. Don't miss. It's unbelievable.
7-2.
Shout out to Brandon Coleman. You got to give him a shout out there. And now for the on script.
So I'll just say 0 sacks, and there were 2 recorded quarterback hits. That ain't bad. That is not bad. That's keeping your quarterback clean.
The
whole line
good.
Played their asses off. We'll see if the grades come out. But I agree with you. Brandon coming off that injury, having to go solo. What a find.
Had to have his finger popped back in the middle of the game by Nick Allegretti said. He was yelling at him. He said, just pull it. Just pull it.
Allegretti did it?
Allegretti did it.
Oh,
he was yelling because he didn't want to.
A beast.
He didn't want to come out, and Allegretti said he couldn't look because he gets queasy.
Oh my god!
Allegretti said he was thinking about coming out because he was getting queasy for doing it, and he pulled his finger back into the socket.
Oh my god! What a story!
In the huddle.
What a story!
Yeah, incredible.
Oh my god!
Allegretti, another great find. I mean, you're pulling him off the bench at Kansas City. He's been balling. I was a guy I was critical of going into the season, and he's shut me up pretty good.
Yeah.
Speaking of guys I was critical of that have shut me up, ever since I called him out on this podcast, I'm not saying it's because of me. It's definitely not. No, I don't want to take credit for it because that's a bad dude. I don't want to get hit by Jeremy Chin, all right? Jeremy Chin, 13 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a pass defended, and just when you see number 11 in the backfield, you know that play's about to get blown the F up. He is just a stud, man. He's a monster. And in coverage, but when he's coming downhill in that, everybody trigger warning in that Buffalo nickel roll, you start to see some really special stuff.
No question. I think Jeremy and Bobby and Frankie are just great additions to that defense. I mean, Bobby's almost turning like the Jaden of the defense, although he's a vet. He just brings it every week. He's a guy that I just wasn't sure about. He just looked slow to me early in the season, and he's just
don't look slow now.
He's just come on. And just the way he had the hit on the fumble.
Yeah.
Right, I think. Do I have that right? I think I have that right.
No, he recovered the fumble.
He recovered the fumble. Yeah. So anyway,
Fowler
I knew he was involved somehow. But anyway, I mean, yeah, Jeremy Chin balled. He balled.
Yep. Jeremy Chin definitely gets the credit there. Led the team in tackles, 7 solo tackles, 13 tackles total. Terry McLaurin, number 2, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. It's pretty efficient. That'll work, right?
I'll take it.
Yeah. Next, just incredible. The last thing I'll say about Terry, and it happened in the Baltimore game on that fade that they threw back shoulder on 4th down. When I see a ball get thrown on target, and I see that it's Terry McLaurin, I just start celebrating. I don't wait to look at the replay. I don't wait. I'm serious. I didn't even today on that catch, which easily could have been out of bounds, easily could have not been controlled all the way, whatever. You don't even think about it. I got up, I left the room. It's touchdown. That's it.
I think statistically he's got one of the best.
Yeah, some of the surest hands of all time, which is incredible when you consider the guys that have been throwing him the football. Having the surest hands of all time when you've got Jaden Daniels at quarterback, fine. Having the surest hands of all time when Garrett Gilbert, Taylor Heineke, and Sam Howell are flinging you the rock, a little bit different, right? I mean, guy had Carson Wentz. at quarterback, and he's got the surest hands, some of the surest hands ever, statistically speaking. Chris Rodriguez, 11
I'm
for
the
52.
one that's been defending Terry, saying he's elite for
100%. 100%. I'll put my hand up on. We're gonna have a hand up segment at the end of the season, and I gotta put my hand.
Good one.
I gotta put my hand up on a few things, and I tell you what, I'm happy that I was wrong about every single one of them. But Chris Rodriguez, 11 for 52, off of the practice squad, got his name called, didn't know that he was going to be playing today until about 30 minutes before the game. They activated him last night as an insurance policy, and then Schefter reported yesterday that Brian Robinson was going to be good to go today. I had him in my fantasy lineup, and I woke up.
He just didn't
have it warming up, which happens.
Didn't have it warming up.
Happens with that soft tissue stuff.
It's a hamstring. I'm glad they made the call. He's so important to the team.
Yeah,
but, Chris Rodriguez. I'm jumping in on you here, but
go for it.
I really liked what we saw out of him last year. When he got a chance to play, I really thought, I was thinking to myself as we were watching Eckler kind of be that lead back, I'm like, that shouldn't be Eck. He needs to be that change of pace guy. And then of course he got nicked. And McKinney, is McNichols. Sorry, I knew I had that wrong.
Yeah.
McKinney. McNichols is a solid player, but we need somebody to kind of more closely replicates B-Rob. And how about Chris Rodriguez coming off the practice squad, having gotten cut, re-signed to the practice squad, stays ready, and is just balling at, when it's the Rigo drill, when we've got to kill the clock and just kill the game. And second-year player, basically almost kind of like a rookie, stayed ready. This guy might have just really advanced his NFL career today.
I think he did. Played. I think he did. I think with this coaching staff, with the combination of this coaching staff and the fact that Brian Robinson, like it or not, has not been healthy all year. Brian Robinson's been dinged up all year, right?
Do you put him back on the practice squad?
No, hell no.
I wouldn't. I don't know if I expose him again.
No.
Yeah.
No, you can't. I think you keep him, and I think you work him in a normal game rotation. I think he had a nasty pass block on Brian Burns. Too.
Yep, that was awesome.
A nasty cut block on Burns. I know that was an issue with him. And I think it's a case of with Rodriguez, these new guys come in, they evaluate, and they say, you know what? He's not there yet. And I think a lot of times guys quit when that happens to them, and when a new regime comes in, and you were the last guy's guy. He probably got the short end of the stick in terms of cuts. That happens all across. That happens in youth soccer. That happens across anything, right? And he survived it, got an opportunity, and I think clearly he showed an immense amount of fight and hard work and just everything that this administration loves. And I think he'll be rewarded.
Ball security.
For it.
Yeah. And again, you look at it, 11 for 52, which led the team in rushing. And, it was the third back. It was our third option today. And you might go, wow, that's not that impressive, but it was very impressive. If you watch the game, it was extremely impressive. I love to see it. I'd love to see it. By the
Me too. And I'd love to see him continue. I would love to see, honestly, I know it's going to be like with McNichols, who contributed well today as well. I know it's going to be like, how can you get so many touches? But I really think he brings the hammer in a way that nobody other than Brian Robinson
B-Rob can't go, he should be the lead back.
I agree.
I'll say it. I think that's what you're kind of alluding to. I'm going to say it.
I'm saying that he should get 5 or 6 carries a game that B-Rob would be getting. If we're going down the stretch and we're worried about B-Rob being dinged up, 3rd and 1 on the 42-yard line, give the ball to Rodriguez. He'll get there too. I think it should be
too many quality backs is a good problem to have, right?
Jeez, when was the last time we've been here? Just incredible. Right. Got his name called, balled out. Like you said, I think he really advanced his NFL career today. Just a second-year guy that was a 5th rounder. He's got a lot of ball ahead of him. A lot of Washington kind of wrote him off pretty quick. And with the way the running backs were playing, if nobody gets hurt, maybe he wouldn't have gotten an opportunity. But it's the NFL, and running backs get dinged up at the highest clip out of just about any offensive position, at least, and you got to be ready. And he was ready, and he deserves all of that. We've talked about him more than any of our awards today, and he deserves it. Shout out to Chris Rodriguez, man. Very, very hyped for him.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm super hyped for Chris too. Yeah.
You had enough positivity for today? Is it time to get into the kickouts of the game?
Gotta get a little bit of kickouts because
yeah,
we're Italian. We're going to complain.
Gotta get a little bit, right? Look, man. I mean, it's a simple kickouts. It's a greedy kickouts, in my opinion. Because
I got a little rant on this one.
All right, I'm going to start off with the positivity in relation to our kickouts of the game, and then I'm going to let Pop take the rant home. All right. So I think personally, you go up 21-7 at the half. You can't expect that on the road against a division opponent, they're going to quit. Look at what Cleveland did last week.
No.
You can't expect that that's going to happen.
It was 21-7, but it felt a lot closer than 21-7.
Yeah, they did that classic, like, it kind of reminds me of like the Golden State Warriors. I'm not feeling
kickouts from me right now.
It kind of reminds me of like when the Warriors used to just go off in the third quarter. It's like they always kind of go off at the end of the half and then end up with the ball back, and that seems to be the finishing blow. But the kickouts of the game is going to be being up 21-7 at the half against what is now a 2-7 football team and not just putting this thing totally away. And I think going forward, if you end up against a team like Pittsburgh, leaving them in it like this, we've got Dallas. I think even Dallas, if you leave them in it like that with that division fire, you might see a different result, right?
Yeah.
You want to just put teams away when you have the opportunity to. They've done a good job of doing it. And to their credit, New York goes down and scores 3. We respond with 3. New York scores a touchdown. We easily could have scored a touchdown after that. We didn't because we didn't need to. We did the ultimate disrespect, which was the knee at the half-yard line, which I think was awesome. But the kickouts of the game is not putting it away would be my kickouts of the game.
Well, yeah, I feel like, we gave up the 164 yards on the ground. I feel like the defense, was on the field a lot, had moments, some good moments. We talked about the turnover, a couple of 3-and-outs, but 164 yards on the ground, 5.3 yards a carry. Not making Daniel Jones look like Daniel Jones entirely, like we've talked about before. But really what annoyed me more than anything, it would be my personal kickouts of the game, is when the Giants are driving the ball, and they go 4 plays, 74 yards, and 58 seconds to make it 27-22, and you don't make them burn a timeout.
Yeah.
That's horrendous.
Yeah.
It's horrendous. Whatever excuses you want to make. The tight end running wide open.
Well, and they score before the 2-minute warning.
The one that you had, even so, basically you're giving them 4 timeouts.
40 seconds. There's like 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock.
Look, it's scary, right? Because as bad as that was, and definitely a kickouts moment, the following drive where we kill the clock and finish the game was every bit of good and not better, but doesn't take away the fact that if something goes wrong, what if Zacchaeus drops that ball, right? Like, it happens.
Guys make mistakes.
We give them the ball back. I don't have a lot of confidence that we're going to stop them, and that defense is a little bit of an ongoing concern for me.
Yeah, of course.
So I'll leave it at that. I want to keep the positive vibes going. But that 4-play, 58-second, 74-yard drive at that stage of the game, leaving 2:48 on the clock, 3 times out, and a 2-minute warning was horrendous. That was an awful moment in this game. And you almost were in a similar situation as we were against the Bears of, putting yourself in a position to let one slip away that should have never even been in question. So, luckily that didn't happen.
We keep getting
Jaden Daniels in that offense.
We keep getting in these like trap game scenarios and then not getting trapped.
Oh yeah,
this would have been if you blow it after that. If you blow it after that, you come on here and you say, "Hey, emotional game. They were up 21-7. Let their foot off the gas. Learning lesson. Blah blah blah." We don't have to talk about any of that. Look, and Dan Quinn will handle all that on Tell the Truth Monday.
You sweep the Giants. Cowboys lose. Eagles are in a bit of a battle. 26-16 At this point, 22-16. Sorry. So they're in a little bit of a battle. You never know. They're probably going to win. They're nipping at our heels. But it's fantastic. You know.
I wouldn't mind if the Eagles
hail to the Commanders, hail to the Redskins, hail to the Washington football team, whatever you want to call them. It's a great day to be a Commanders fan.
Yes, it is. It's a great day to be a Commanders fan. It's a great day to be great. And we have secured another win. 7-2 feels way too good to be true. But somehow everything about the way this has happened makes it feel like this is what it was going to be all along. So unbelievable from the guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you've enjoyed it. If you are a fan of a 7-2 football team, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button.
Thanks for all the love.
Wrap this thing up. Thanks for all the love. Pop mentioned Riggo, and we got a guy around here that we call Riggo that I got to bring up.
Riggo! Let's see Riggo.
Riggo's been asleep. Riggo's government name is Carlo. He's long overdue for an appearance, and Carlo's
going to tackle. For personal experience, I can tell you.
Oh, you can't bring this guy down.
Tackle.
Well, he's kind of like Henry. If you could get him at the line of scrimmage, you might be all right. But as soon as he builds up a head of steam,
he's the official show mascot, Dom and Pop mascot.
And he is so sleepy. So we're gonna go ahead and put our left paws up, and wrap this thing up, guys. Without further ado, I've been Dom.
This is Pop.
Thank you guys for another great week, and hail to the 7-2 Washington Commanders.
Hail.